Hi, I'm Simon Canton and this is the nitty-gritty of writing a novel. In this video, I'd like to go into what's involved in getting your book edited. The reason being that I just got my novelette, Hard Vacuum, edited by Garrett Robinson. Garrett is a fellow indie author, but also an awesome editor. I haven't had anything edited by him prior to this, so I was interested to see what it would be like. I've previously had my book Shiny New Swindle edited by John Harton, and I'd like to go into why that was different too. Finally, I also got an editorial evaluation of my book The Bite on the End of the Line by CreateSpace, and I'll go into what that was like. So if you've never had anything edited before, hopefully this will be useful to you. First up, here's a sample page from Garrett's edit of Hard Vacuum. As you can see, the edits are done in Microsoft Word. The reason for this is that Word has a feature called Track Changes that make it ideal for editing and reviewing edits. Words Garrett has edited or removed are in red, with the deleted ones struck through. He's also included comments on the right hand side. This is incredibly useful as a writer, as Garrett is an expert and he's telling me what I'm doing wrong. I don't just use this to fix this particular book, but also to fix that problem in my writing going forward. This is what you might call copy editing plus. Garrett is finding problems in my writing in terms of spelling and grammar, but he's also giving his 2 cents on the logic of my story. Of course, you're free to accept or reject any change you like. It's your story. But there wouldn't be any point in paying hundreds of dollars to ignore an expert's advice. Up next is my book Shiny New Swindle, edited by John Harton. This is also edited in Word for the same reasons as before. As you can see, John did a lot fewer changes than Garrett did. This would be more on the copy editing scale of things. Where Garrett was fixing a lot of unclear sentences using his own writing style, John is just fixing grammar problems and unclear sentence structure. This is a perfectly fine type of editing as well. John is cleaning the story up so it doesn't have grammar and spelling errors in it. The question is what kind you'd really like. Do you want someone to fix the spelling and grammar but otherwise leave your writing alone? Or do you want someone to play around with it and try to improve it? In my opinion, neither is worse or better than the other. But personally, I prefer Garrett's approach. And that's the key thing to take away from these 2 different styles of editing. Find an editor that works for you. Maybe send them a short story and see how it goes. Finally, when I was preparing to publish my first ever book, I used CreateSpace's services to get an editorial evaluation. This is a totally different thing to a copy edit or a copy edit plus. In an editorial evaluation, an editor goes through the book and works out the potential of it. They don't give you little things to fix, but instead concentrate on the bigger picture. So they might say something like, this chapter doesn't work, or your genre choice is wrong. CreateSpace hides the editor from you, so you've no idea who has edited your book. You just get an anonymous Word document back. As you can see from the Word document, this editor is describing what's in the book and their feelings about it. Personally, I don't think this was terribly helpful to me. The editor said that they liked everything in my book pretty much. So for around $200, I got someone saying, yeah, it's good. Which brings me to the difference between an editor and a beta reader. A beta reader would give you the same feedback for a book, albeit in less detail. Be careful of getting your biggest fans to be your beta readers. You don't want to give them something half finished and turn them off your writing forever. Beta means that the book is finished in your opinion, but you'd want to get someone else's opinion too. One massive benefit of the editorial evaluation was the change of my title. If you see it there, the book used to be called Jolly Town Patrol. I shudder to think if I'd published using that name. I'll do a video specifically on book titles soon, because titles are difficult to come up with. Finally, I'd like to go into cost. I know that for pretty much any level of writer, cost is a major factor. Garrett cost 2 cents per word for his services, so he cost me $260 for a 13,000 word novelette. John was hired from Elance for $500 for a 60,000 word novel. That's not to say that that's how much he costs regularly. That's just how much I paid at a particular time. CreateSpace's editorial evaluation costs $199. If we take cost into account, I would say that CreateSpace's editorial evaluation is pretty much useless unless you have a lot of money and you want someone to tell you if your book is generally any good. John's services were great value for copy editing. For the uninitiated, a professional like John would normally cost $1,000 for a novel. However, if you can find someone for $500 who's as good as John, then Garrett is much more expensive. Personally though, I'm going to try my best to hire Garrett for Hard Vacuum too, because despite being more expensive, I think I got amazing value for money. So those are my experiences with editing. I hope it's been of some use to you. To hire John, Garrett or CreateSpace, check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching.